Good morning, everybody. It's November 6th, 2025, Whirlpool, early morning. Let me hold up on this for a minute. Let me get back to this. All right, we're gonna go through some body cam from the Tecumseh PD. This takes place on 1/4/2022 with one of my favorite Tecumseh police officers, Sergeant G. Walsh, Greg Walsh. Now his body cam here says 1814, which in human time is 6:14 p.m. Tecumseh police do a shift change at 6 p.m. So obviously his body cam time is not correct. I think if I figured it out, it's either 3 or 5 hours off. So it's probably either 3:14 or 1:14. It's hard to know when they don't have the accurate time on their body cam. How does anybody investigate anything with any accuracy if the data is wrong? I mean, let's say this was from a big case, an important case, maybe a murder case or something. The time frame for their body cam would be pretty important. When they interviewed somebody, what time it was, what time somebody said something, all of that. The date's correct, just the timestamp is not correct on their body cams. If they're wearing them, if they activate them, all kinds of stuff. So, let's see. What's going on? Okay, we got sound. Let's see here. And then I'm going to play some of the body cam and then present video evidence, much of which was suppressed in Lenawee 2A District Court in the Honorable Judge Todd M. Morgan's court there in Lenawee County. Just to show you how corrupt of a system they run there. And if you're a person that loves authority, if you're a person that thinks the system works and, like to call auditors frauditors and like to, are a person that just complies and follows orders and perceived authority over you, might not be the video for you. But I welcome you to follow along, leave a comment, share, like, and subscribe, all that good stuff. So let's go. Let's see. This is from 1/4/2022. Sergeant G. Walsh is interviewing Krazy Maritza in Little Tecumseh 49286. Here we go.
And then he's driving to my house. I took a picture of that. Okay, so this is him. I was parked right here, but I can show you. I was parked right here, and he was right here, right in the corner. Because he's seeing me. Because, he cut off his vehicle. This is his truck right here. But anyways, the more you screen it, you can't
see. Yeah, we can't see anything.
Right, yeah, I've seen him wear that coat before.
Okay. But and then, this is the kid.
So he's referring to my blue Columbia. I don't know if it's considered a puffy. It's kind of like after the puffy coats, semi-puffy, I guess.
Right? He was coming from the same direction, that direction. I don't know, north, south. Okay, so you see him, right? And then
She doesn't know her
later,
direction.
He comes by my house. I took a picture of it because obviously I'm like, oh, you know what? It might be. So, you know, I'm like, that might be the other guy, but I took screenshot what he was wearing. You know what I mean? So, but you know the weirdest thing?
What?
He's there, and I'm gonna show you the video, and then he stopped right here. I'm gonna show you the video. I took it. It was like 10:50. You don't have for ring. You have to figure it out.
I don't understand what she said there. For ring, you have to figure it out. Maybe she's referring to the timestamp on Tecumseh PD's body cams. Because my ring shows if it's set to Eastern Daylight Savings Time, shows me what time the video is. So I'm not sure what she's talking about. You know, ring, you have to figure it out. Maybe she doesn't have the settings in ring set. Maybe she's got them set to Pacific Coast time or something. I'm not sure what she's talking about there.
So anyways, but you know the weird thing?
What?
Is that 3 minutes later, he got back on his car and came by my house again. When that guy took off. I mean, when that guy came by the house, you'll see. I'll show it to you. What time I said 10:50? What time was that?
I don't know.
And during all of this conspired, orchestrated play acting, whatever you want to call it, between the Tecumseh PD, Maritza, Michael J. Brooks, Barry Purse, and some other bad actors in the mix, they presented zero video evidence in court. Zero. This woman shows this officer video constantly, and they presented none in discovery, and there was no video evidence presented in the court of law. It was all bullshit testimony by these bad actors. All right, continue. Don't take my word on it, she said.
It tells you all the emotions, you know.
True fact.
Okay, let me show you. Okay, so he's right there. I'm gonna zoom it so you can see. So I figured he was a walker, but he did this a couple times already. Here's what freaks me out. I'll show you in a minute. Thank God he didn't stand right there by the pole.
Yeah, thank God he didn't stand there by the pole. And it's ironic she says that because on a later date, when Sergeant Walsh tries to frame me for a PPO violation, the walker that they claim was me was standing behind a pole in the video. Very, very weird that.
He said, Dad. And he's talking to somebody right now.
He said what? He said, Dad?
Well, you see him creeping, right? My house?
Creeping. Everybody's creeping on Krazy Maritza. This is another person
so he came from the
creeping.
He was walking here, this way, and then he came back that way and then come back to my, because he was on the other side. So I'm like, you know what? He might be a walker. That's what I thought. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But I'm going to show you a video that when he's walking 3 minutes later, he takes off this truck. and I'll buy the house again.
A firm, clear on that. Well, now, why did Sergeant Walsh's body cam not look at the video?
And my husband goes, well, if he's a walker, he would just walk, you know what I mean, and be on the phone. But why does he have to, you know what I mean, stop and like look over here? And see, he's looking and looking and looking. And I'm like, you know what, he's probably looking at my new building, which everybody does that. But you can't even see the building that's that direction.
Right. Yeah, everybody looks at her new building. Like, the talk of the town.
Hey, Dad. But I can hear the conversation from Stefano.
You can actually see this woman in her head is making shit up in her head, and this cop is joining in fucking with this woman's head.
So not because my husband's not home, it's just I have my kids now by myself. And they kind of, why is this going on, you know what I mean? So let me show you what screenshot. Barry sent me remember I was telling you that he had a funeral yesterday? And this is what he got. He said, Barry is creepy.
Oh, Barry is creepy. So, like I said, we don't really know what time this was. It was either at 15:19, so 3:19, or it's 5 hours off, and it was at 1:19. Let me see if how far ahead is GMT time? Let me see if I can Google that real quick. Eastern Standard Time. $5 hours. So 5 hours ahead of EST. So then that would make this at 1:19. So there's our answer. So it's actually 1:19. That's 6:19. They're 5 hours off on their generic body cam from some generic company they used. I don't know if it's still the same. I haven't FOIA requested any body cam footage recently from the Tecumseh PD. Maybe I should just do one to see if they've updated their capabilities there. Okay, so again, so that's at 1:19. This is the same day. How are we gonna do that? We can bring that in. All right. So this is at 7 a.m. that morning. That's my truck out there. No, that's probably you barking on it. Hasn't quit. So that's at 7 a.m. that day. And if I go like this, and then this is quit, Huddy. Sorry about my doggy. Here's that 7-Eleven from that day. There's Krazy Maritza and Berserko Berry. Alright. Here is at 7:21 of that day with the timestamp from Ring, and I think Amazon may have owned them by that point. Okay. And then we can, this is still that same day. At 8:49. Alrighty. There we go. There's at 8:50 that day, Eastern Standard Time, EST. See that? All right. And then I don't know what happened first. I think this happened first, actually. Let me go to this. Oops. So then this was at 10:20 that day. I'm coming home from the local vet after taking my dog to an appointment that morning downtown Tecumseh at Companion Animal Clinic. And you can hear me telling my dog to stay because I was gonna do a quick video log, vlog, whatever, about the snow and sidewalk. You know, I think there's an ordinance in the city of Tecumseh about keeping your sidewalks clean. I don't know if I know they don't enforce it, but it was a project I was working on. So, oops. So I'm getting home from my dog's in there. You can see him in the window. And that's Krazy Maritza going by. She forgot to mention that to Sergeant Walsh that day. And she purposely did that because she ended up just driving around the block and going back to her house after she tried to intimidate me with her car. Okay. And as far as the person walking that she was referring to, like she said, it was 10:50 or 10:51 or something. I believe her time is off on her thing. Maybe it's Chicago time she's on. Let me bring that down a little bit. There we go. So this is at 10:41 Eastern Standard Time, the same day. Why is this not going? I'm not sure why we're not playing on that one yet. I'm not sure why it won't play. Give me a second here. I might have to reopen that. Give it another shot here. Open better. I believe that's the walker she's talking about. He's very interested in my house. He turns around again and even starts walking backwards. So that's who she's referring to, I believe, walking by her house. And they were claiming it was one of my sons. They were claiming that the guy said dad or whatever. Neither of my sons were in Tecumseh that day. Neither of them were in Lenawee County that day. One of my sons I know couldn't have been anywhere near there. And the other one was working at his job in Warren, Michigan. Yeah. And has a time, whatever, a time card or to prove that. So that was all either made up in this woman's head or kind of fabricated, but not, because then on a later video, and I'll explain that more in detail, when Mr. Brooks, the local family law criminal attorney, calls 911, the first word he says is one of my son's names, because Mr. Brooks is a little cognitively, impaired. Doesn't realize that 911 starts recording even before the operator and you start talking to each other. So yeah, that's pretty much that with Krazy Maritza and Berserko Berry Purse. I mean, I don't know. What's this one? Oh.
Now the shit's about to kick off. This party looks wet. Let's take it back to straight hip hop and start it from
little Detroit's own Slim Shady, Eminem, Berserk. All right, I'll be back with another video explaining more of the situation there. Eventually, this is going to end up in a full documentary that I'm working on with life's distractions and everything that's going on in the world. That hopefully we'll be able to dedicate some time, energy, and mental space for that and get it done. I keep talking about it, and it takes a long time. It takes a long time with different things that transpire. So I'll be back with another video. Hope everybody's having a good, peaceful Thursday, November 6th, 2025. On our way to a Thanksgiving this year. Hopefully everybody be thankful and grateful for what they do have. And all right, peace out to Marshall Mathers and Mr. Rick Rubin. Peace out, baby.